What's up, everybody? Wait. Yes, we are live. What's up, everybody? Hope you're all having a nice Wednesday. Yankees are killing me right now, down 2-0. Astros took the lead, though, and that's my big one. I need the Astros up plus 115, be a nice hit. Houston did take the lead, so we're all good. Everything's good. Let's not panic. So, yeah, we're only 2 NBA games that we'll get through pretty quickly, and then we're just going to fill out a playoff bracket. Not a super in-depth thing, just bullshitting, just seeing. I don't even know what mine's going to say yet. I'm going to do it on the fly. Me and Ronald were actually just talking. He's like me in the sense that not the biggest futures bet type of guy. I like to go game by game, but it'll be fun. So let's just get started with the first game. And in case you guys didn't know, I took Miami here. I got it at 5. It looks like it's 5.5 now. So market seems to be pushing it towards Philly. Reasoning is basically just a fade of who the Sixers have played. I mean, they look great. Haven't played a ton of competition. The Heat have always given Joel Embiid problems. In his last 6 games against the Heat, he's only averaging like 26 a game on 48% shooting, which is great. But, I mean, that's not enough to win the game by yourself. And that's what I think is going to need to happen because what the Sixers have been doing really well, they're on fire, by the way. They're I think 12-0 against the spread in their last 12 or something crazy. But a couple of things they've been doing really well, they've been shooting the outside shot, and they've been running the fast break well. Remember, the Sixers were running a super slow pace 2 months ago? That's not now. They're running the fast break, and it's working. I really doubt that's going to be there against Miami. They've been elite at defending the fast break all season. They're also playing great defense against a three-point shot right now. So I think it's going to come down to Embiid versus Bam Adebayo, who one of the best on-ball defensive bigs in the NBA. So I think it's a good spot for the Heat. I probably think they win outright. I did bet the money line, but my favorite bet would just be to take the points here. Plus, I got it at 5. Wish I waited, but... Yeah, I'm on the Heat. What about you, Capper?
Yeah, I actually took the Heat too, and I got the 5 as well. You pointed out a lot of good things. Obviously the most recent win streak, right? I think 8-game win streak. A lot of them were bottom feeders, and then some of the better teams they were in kind of bad spots. So I can see that some of their offensive, like their efficiency numbers, probably misleading a little bit. But I think I know the Heat, no Rozier, right? They brought him in for a reason. He's not going to be there for this game, but the Heat and Spoelstra, they're like this playoff team. Right? They peak at the right time. Obviously, I give the edge, obviously, to from a coaching standpoint to the Heat there. You also brought up the fact that Embiid kind of struggles against the Heat. I looked at the matchups between the Sixers and the Heat in the last few years where Jimmy plays and Embiid plays. The Heat are 9-5 straight up in those games. Out of those 14 games, the Sixers went over their team total of 106.5. I think their team total is 106.5 today. Only 5 times out of those 14 games. So I think defensively is something that, or the defense is something that I think the Heat are going to excel at against the Sixers here. As road dogs this season, obviously it's a playing game, playoff atmosphere type game, but similar situation. As road dogs, the Heat are 16-9 against the spread. 17-8 to the under. Only 5 teams went up and over their team total in those 25 games. So a couple ways that I looked at it, the Heat and the under. I did bet the Heat, but I kind of want to take a look at the under. I don't know if anyone can talk me on it.
I wanted to bet the under as well, but I also am fading. I think Philadelphia's defense is also a little bit fraudulent. They've been excellent, but the one time – so Philadelphia's defense has these great numbers protecting the rim recently. They're like second or first in the last 10 games, like elite. But the only time they saw an even decent team that could score at the rim was the Magic. And Orlando scored 113 points and 60 of them in the paint. So they won the game because Philly shot the hell out of the ball from 3. But it wasn't the defense that won the game. Orlando actually did what they wanted down low. So Philly's defense, I think, is undervalued as well. That's why I couldn't get there with the under. But that's the way I wanted to go. Skee?
I've been all over the place with this game, and you guys said a lot of good things about Miami. I do usually like to catch them or take them catching points. If this was a series, like I would easily take Miami to win this series. Mm-hmm. But just being a one game, like Embiid can perform well enough in one game for them to win. The thing I struggle with is the point spread margin. So I don't really have an argument. All I'll say is, in a one game off, I don't want to go against Joel Embiid. So I'll lean Sixers. And,
Wow, lean Sixers. Here's
just
something
a
I
lean,
will
yeah.
say, because obviously with NBA playoffs, there's always like, okay, so you look at the numbers, and then also you have to take a step back and be like, okay, I'm an NBA fan, been an NBA for years. What can I see happening? Like, what would be what like almost like storyline wise, and I could see the Heat losing this game, looking ugly and squeaking by against the Bulls. And then coming out and upsetting the Celtics. You know, like that would be so Miami Heat.
That
to
would be
look
a Heat
so
thing, yeah.
trash, limp into the playoffs, and then knock off the Celtics. That would be what the Heat would do. So I could see that as well. And what about Crispy Cappin? Are you in agreement with us, or are you leaning with Skee?
I'm leaning a little bit more towards Skee. I didn't bet the game though, full transparency.
How do you not bet
like,
this game?
Like Skee said, I'm kind of all over the place because I think it's a lot of reasons to not bet the game, Kyle. Like if you have a strong opinion on it, you just kind of sit on the sideline, kind of like
can't
what
help
I did
it.
yesterday with the Pelicans and the Lakers. But yeah, I mean, you guys both made really, really good points. My counter argument for your points would be, and the reason why I didn't take the points from Miami here is because I feel like this offense could really, really struggle. They brought Terry Rozier in to be able to score the basketball. Philly's offense has been really, really good. And when I think about the defenders at the guard position that's going to have to guard Tyrese Maxey today, I'm thinking about Duncan Robinson, who's probably going to play, and Tyler Hero. I mean, those guys are traffic cones. Like, I think Philly's offense is going to be able to score the basketball. So I even considered Philly's team total over 106.5. But I did think that the full game could potentially go under. Because I think Miami, when I think about Miami, I think about this really strong defensive team. Their offense has not been that great this season, and Philly's defense has been really, really good. So, kind of like what Skee was saying, I was kind of all over the place with this game, and the reason why I didn't bet it. But you guys were talking about the under, and I do lean towards the under. I think Miami could struggle to get to their team total, which is only like 101.5. So that was my strongest look in the game, just taking their team total under, thinking that Philly's defense continues to play really, really well here. And Miami, if they're not knocking down those 3-point shots, they could really, really struggle to score the basketball. So I guess my biggest lean would be towards their team total under 101.5, but I didn't play the game.
Yeah, I mean, I can't disagree with the lack of faith in Miami Heat offense because I feel the same way. The way I look at it was this one team's laying 5.5, so I need that offense to have an edge for me to bet it. If I don't believe in either offense, because I actually think Philly's offense is going to struggle. So if I don't believe in either offense, then I want to be on the side taking the points. That was my logic behind it. But yeah, I'm believing in Spoelstra. S-Dot's happy. He's going nuts in the chat. So our poll is leaning towards Miami here, but not overwhelming. There's a lot of people betting the Sixers. We're pretty split, 47%, 36%. So pretty split down the middle in that one. Second game, Hawks at Bulls. And I don't know if I'm too confident here. When I say too confident, I'm wondering why the line hasn't moved. I feel like the Bulls have to be the play. But I grabbed it at 3. It's still sitting at 3. It's got me to the point where, like, maybe I'm missing something.
Hey, Kyle, you don't have to get CLV on every play, you know?
No, I know. It's not necessarily the line movement. It's more like, what am I missing? Why is this? It's more like, why is the line only 3? I know the Hawks have looked all right recently. I think they're like 1-6 against the spread in their last 7. And with no Okongwu and no Jalen Johnson, I mean, there's just a severe physicality and size disadvantage here for the Hawks, especially if Drummond plays. Did you guys know? Now, Drummond's questionable, but Drummond is obviously the backup center on the Bulls. In his last 3 games against the Hawks, he's averaging 15 and 18 in his last 3 games. So, like, the backup center on the Bulls dominates this team. Clint Capella is solid. He's aging. He only plays about 24, 25 minutes a night. Who is bodying up with Vucevic and possibly Drummond? Because without Okongwu, without Jalen Johnson, there's just a severe lack of size for the Hawks. And I think the Bulls, who I know haven't looked good at all, they haven't been good at home. But just in a game with a bunch of veterans, a must-win elimination game, I think the Bulls are going to win the battle in the paint on both sides. And if Drummond plays, I think I'm sitting nicely here. If he doesn't play, I still like it because Vucevic plays 35 minutes a night rather than Capella's 25. So, and Vucevic is big. He doesn't really get branded as he's a big dude. So I like the Bulls, and I'm pretty confident I'm on the right side here. The line, I feel like this should be 5.5, 6, personally. I know the Hawks got hot there for a little while, but the threes haven't been falling recently. The efficiency numbers from outside have fallen off a little bit. So I know you could point at, hey, the Bulls can't defend the three-point line and the Hawks shoot a lot of threes, which is valid, but the Hawks haven't been hitting their threes the last 6-7 games. So if the Hawks' three-point shooting just arrives, maybe, but even so, I think I'm on the right side here with Chicago. Ronald, you went first last time. Let's let Chris lead us off this time.
Yeah, so we do a line here, Cal, which is frequent. This is like a solar eclipse. But yeah, if I'm playing the game, I'm taking the Bulls too. I didn't play the game yet though, because I do want to see what happens. I think you mentioned it, but Drummond being listed as questionable and Ayo Dosunmu also listed as questionable. Both of those guys, I saw videos of both of those guys kind of shooting shots and getting some rebounds. So I'm hopeful one of them will play, and I will jump in on the Bulls here. I was kind of going back and forth with this one as well. Two very non-trustworthy teams, but you made a couple points that I also have written in my notes as well, Kyle. I think not having Jalen Johnson, not having Onyeka Okongwu has a major impact, but having Trae Young also impacts this, and it's more of a fade of the Hawks this season. So did some SDQ work. So with Trae Young in, Jalen Johnson out, the Hawks played 16 games this season. They went 4-12 straight up, 3-13 against the spread. Their biggest flaw was the defense. In those 16 games, they gave up an average of 125 points per game. And in the last six of the last 8, they actually gave up 120 plus. The Bulls' weakness is their ability to be able to score the basketball at times. So, like you said, Drummond being there, the only thing that Atlanta does really, really well, outside of shooting the three-point ball well when they get hot, is they're excellent rebounding team. So if Drummond comes in, that neutralizes them even more. So like you said, if Atlanta's not hot from three, I just think if Atlanta's not hot from three and Trae Young isn't contributing there, with his lack of defense, I think it has to be a Bull spot. I think Atlanta is cooked. So Bulls are nothing for me here. I got a couple other notes as well. The way I'm going to choose to play this one, Kyle, is I'm going to look at their team total to go over. 112.5, I think, is Chicago's team total. I just kind of gave you guys some numbers of, Atlanta, trying to work Trae Young back in, but just their defense in general with Trae Young being on the floor. And it's really, really bad. I think that Atlanta probably controls the pace in this game. And if that's the case, Chicago should be able to score. They also the 12th rated offensive team as far as points per 100 possessions over the last 2 weeks. And they've done a really good job protecting the basketball, so grabbing some offensive rebounds as well. So I like Chicago team total over 112.5 here. Kyle.
All right, we're on the same side, and I like that team total over as well. If there's one cure for offensive woes, it would be playing the Atlanta Hawks. So I like that as well. Skee, are you with us?
If I have to play the side, I understand the points that you guys make, and I don't want to talk anybody off of going to put their Bulls ticket in. I think I like this game more from the total, and I'm hearing from you guys lack of size, lack of defense, and I think I can agree with all that. Looking at the Hawks, they've been the second worst defense the last 5 games, but I do trust them to score. Whenever Trae Young's on the court and the way they've been sharing the ball, I still expect them to score in an up-tempo game. And like Chris said, I think they can pace up the Bulls a little bit in this one. So Bulls defense hasn't been great either. Bulls offense has been why they've been winning games, in my opinion, lately. So I think the market has moved it up, 3 points, maybe 2.5 points. I think it's moving in the right direction. I would be going with over 222.
Yeah, I agree with that too. I almost bet the over as well. I felt the same kind of way as I feel about the Bulls. I feel like it should be 227, 228. Why the Bulls only laying 3? I feel like it should be 5.5, 6. So I have the same. I'm with you on the over. I have the same feeling where the line just seems a little bit. I'm not saying this line makes no sense. It just seems a little bit off. Maybe the fact that the Bulls just haven't been playing that well recently, as in the last few games. Maybe that could explain it. You, Cappin, are you with us?
Yeah, I think that is what it is. Their defense has struggled recently, and then if you look at the Hawks side, because I had the same question, like why is the line not moving? Because I also took the Bulls as well, but if you look at the last 6 games that the Hawks lost, right? They actually played some really tough teams. Then also the loss against the Hornets, obviously it's an ugly loss, but they they were on the second leg of back-to-back games and played double OT in the game before. So that almost I wouldn't say a scheduled loss, but that was something that would probably be a reason why they lost to the Hornets. The other pieces that you guys mentioned, the Jalen Johnson thing, I also did some digging into that Jalen Johnson piece because I know early on in the season, I think they like lost and failed to cover like 10 straight without Jalen Johnson or something like that. But if you look at them as road dogs without Jalen Johnson, they're only 2-10 straight up, and nine of those 10 losses, they lost by 7 or more points, and then the other loss was exactly 3, which is the line here. They played against Minnesota in that game. And if you dive deep into just the Hawks in general on the road, 14-26 straight up and against the spread, as road dogs specifically, 8-19 straight up and against the spread. And they lose by an average margin of 8 points per game. And they lost to some ugly teams too in that span. And then you brought up some other pieces of why the Bulls should be able to get up and over their team total. Chris, some things that I've seen in the previous matches, because the Bulls won the regular season 2-1. The Hawks turn over the ball at a high rate against this Bulls team. They also send the Bulls to the free throw line at a high rate, and they struggle to defend the interior scoring of the Bulls too. So that's a big reason why we probably want Drummond in there for the most part, because if you're gonna go from Vooch and then Drummond, they should be able to eat in the paint pretty easily against these guys, especially with Okongwu out, like what you said, Kyle. So to me, obviously the Bulls' recent form isn't great, but if you look at some of the other pieces, like, what is it? What is their record in the last few games here? I think they played some okay teams. Their most recent game against the Wolves, I believe, they were on the second leg of back-to-back games. They had tired legs, only shot 20% from 3. So there's some reasons why they kind of struggled in their recent games from the offensive side of the ball. But to me, it's really the Bulls here or nothing.
Agreed. And someone asked if Skee has his own show. Yeah, he has it's called Skee Profit on YouTube. It's 1:30 p.m. Eastern time, Monday through Friday. And someone asked if Ronald has an OnlyFans.
What the fuck? Y'all are crazy.
All right. So I do have some brackets set up here. What we'll do, it'll be quick. We're not going to sit here and break down every single series. Just bullshit, see what you guys think, see how far you guys have it in the New York Knicks going. So, Ronald, I got you up first. So we'll just start. We'll do each person does the East, then each person does the West. How about that?
Right.
So let me get Ronald's bracket up. All right, so we're looking East first, which would be over here. All right, so who do you have in the 8th seed for the East? So it's Sixers, Heat, or Hawks, Bulls. You have 4 choices.
So I did the Heat because obviously I took the Heat today.
Wait, then we get if you have the Heat winning today, they would be the 7.
Oh yeah, my bad. Yeah, so the 8th would probably be
Sixers or Bulls. Okay.
Yeah, it would be the Sixers there. And then the 7th seed would be the Heat. The Celtics versus Philly. I would go Celtics there. Okay. And then Cleveland versus Magic. I do have. I think I wrote something down here. I did have the Cavs here. I have the Cavs. And then I have the Pacers beating the Bucks.
Ooh, that's the tough one. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Pacers owned the Bucks this season, and then obviously Giannis struggling. And then I do have Miami beating the Knicks.
Oh, come on, dude. I feel like you're doing that out of spite.
Yeah, I mean, potentially. But I don't like Randall.
There goes there. Miami.
So you got a 6 for 7 down here.
Yep. And then I have Boston. And I also have Miami here.
All right, and who comes out the East?
We got Boston.
Boston in the finals. All right. So he's got Austin in the finals. There you go.
Hope S-Dot's happy with
yeah, he's gonna be more. He's gonna be thrilled. He'll probably bring that up in the Discord 15 times this week.
He's probably gonna hate Ronald for not having him win the championship.
All right, Chris. Let's see. You have the mic. We're going Eastern Conference first.
All right, so Celtics will play against the Miami. No. I'm sorry, against the. Honestly, I didn't even put that part of it, but they would get the Heat, and the Heat done in the first round in my bracket, so that's not gonna hate me. So it's Boston, and then upset in the 4-versus-5 matchup. I got the Magic beating the Cavs.
Ew,
I
that's
think that they just match
one,
up.
bro.
I think they just match up close enough. Magic just got to be able to defend the 3-point line, and I think the Cavs gonna struggle. All right, so then Cal, you're not gonna like this one, but the Sixers gonna beat your Knicks.
Oh, come on, dude.
In the first round, and then the last one is I'm in agreement with RC here. Pacers beat the Bucks, especially with Giannis not participating in the shoot around. He might like this. It looks just like deja vu for the Bucks.
I know.
Damian Lillard there this time. And then in the second round, I got the Celtics beating the Magic, and I have the Sixers beating the Pacers. And then the Celtics beat the Sixers and get to the finals.
Wow.
We have the same ranking almost.
Yeah, you guys are similar.
7 feet get into the Eastern Conference. I think it's just a matchup perspective.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Skee. Please tell me you have the New York Knicks advancing out of the first round.
He's not gonna bring us back on the show no more, Skee. All of us.
Let's do it.
All right, Skee. So, who do you have in the 8 spot? It could be any of the 4 Eastern Conference teams in the play-in.
So whoever wins tonight out of Philly and Miami gets the 7.
Yes.
Well, I have Philly winning, so
they'll be 7. So let's go put that at 7. So you have Philly down here. Okay. Then up here you have Heat, Bulls, or Hawks.
Heat.
Okay.
And Boston and Miami.
Oh.
Yeah, I have to go with Boston. Cleveland and Orlando. I'm just not a believer in what Cleveland. I've seen enough from them. They need to get rid of Donovan Mitchell. I just think I'm tired of Cleveland. I'm not a believer anymore. Orlando's done nothing but prove everybody wrong all year long, and I think they could do it again in the first round. So Orlando. I'm not a believer at all in the coach. Not a believer in the Bucks without Giannis. So I'll take the Pacers.
Wow, all 3 you got the Bucks going down. Come on, you know what to do.
Confidently. I didn't even. Can we just skip this one?
No, absolutely no. We can't.
Say it, Skee.
All right. I guess I'll go with the Sixers.
What is wrong with you guys? Have you guys not watched ball in the last couple months? Hottest team in the
It's a
NBA.
bad matchup. It's a bad matchup.
You know what I'll say is, I don't really want to trust. I don't want to trust Embiid, honestly, in a series, just because I just don't trust him to stay healthy. But at the same time, I don't trust the Knicks long term because I know Tibbs runs his players into the ground. So that's why it's either one could come out of that. To be fair,
Embiid always folds in the second round, not necessarily the first.
There you go. So Boston, Orlando, that's Boston. I think they're experienced enough and better than them to go ahead and advance. Philly and Indiana. I don't think Indiana's ready yet. As much as I just said about Embiid falling apart, I think it'll happen in the next round. So Sixers. And then Celtics take care of business.
The Sixers do not get their revenge over Boston.
Nope.
All right, so you guys both got Boston coming out. I don't know if you guys been watching Celtics games recently. Not looking too sharp. All right, let me twist it up real quick. All right. My bracket, the Eastern Conference is the year of the revenge. So that means Miami wins tonight. Philly wins the second one. They get their revenge on Boston in the first round. Cleveland, even though that's a garbage series. I think I'm just not a believer in the Pacers, to be honest. They don't play enough defense. Maybe they take – I can understand a Pacers money line bet in game 1. I think the Bucks will get it together. Down here, we'll put the Heat. Wait. And I said the year of the revenge. Knicks get their revenge. Knicks handle an overrated Bucks squad. This is disgusting. There we go.
Oh, my God.
Now, hold on. Before you guys say
you know what? Maybe we shouldn't laugh, because if this happens, Kyle's gonna post the shit out of it.
Okay, so yes, I'm a
Oh,
Knicks
man.
fan. That being said, the Eastern Conference is wide open, and the Knicks are probably playing as well as any team in the East right now. So it's not crazy. They are the 2 seed. I don't believe in the Bucks. The team that would scare me the most as a Knicks fan would be Philadelphia, to be honest. That's why when a couple of you guys had Sixers Knicks, that series would scare me. I'm not scared of the Heat. We will dispose of the Heat pretty easily. It's the Sixers that I'm worried about. But yeah, so I have Knicks Sixers in the ECF. All right, let's swing it back over. Who went first? I think Ronald went first.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get Ronald's bracket back up here. We're now heading out west. So this is where we left off. You have Heat, Celtics in the ECF. All right. So who is the 8? We know the Lakers are 7. That's decided already. So is it going to be Kings or Pellies?
I think it's gonna be the Kings.
Kings. Okay.
Zion's gonna be out, right?
Yeah, I believe it's been confirmed.
That kind of sucks. I don't know what the hell they were doing at the end of that game, but I don't know if they trust their team right now. So I think the Kings should be able to get it done. Kings.
Do they really get it done?
No. I'm talking about it on Friday. No, I do think that he actually goes the distance though against this Thunder team. I don't know if you knew this, but before the last 2 games, the Kings won 11 of the last 12 against OKC. Obviously, it's 2 different teams, but I think it's actually going to go 7. If I do bet a future, I'd do like a Kings plus games. But OKC gets it done in 7.
Okay.
I have Mavs beating the Clippers. I have I wrote this down. Oh, I actually have the Suns over the.
There
the
you
Wolves.
go. Good pick.
And then I have Denver.
Yeah, unfortunately, Skee, I would love to do it. I want to see it. I hope I'm wrong, but I am going Denver there as well.
And here, man, this one's tough.
That's a good series.
This one is tough. Oh shit. Let me get back to that one. I think Denver gets to the championship there. Damn, OKC and Dallas. That's
Dallas
a tough
would
one.
win this series, I think.
I would say shit. I think Dallas will. I think Dallas should be able to.
Okay, so here is your conference. Oh, whoops. Here's your conference championships right here. And who's representing the Western Conference?
In this matchup, let's go Dallas. I think it's Dallas.
Wow.
I don't really trust Denver this year.
I think Denver is slightly a step down from last year as well, but they're still still pretty official. All right, Chris. Let's get your bracket back on the screen. Let's see where we left off with Chris here. So you got Boston beating Philly in the ECF. Head over. So who would be – so obviously Lakers are 7. Who would be your 8, Kings or Pellies?
Kings.
Good pick.
Yeah, I actually bet it already.
You got OKC. You got Kings upsetting here? Are you a believer
Absolutely
now?
Not.
Oh.
No, I'm not a believer. No, just in them to on Friday when they play. I bet Sacramento already.
Just
but,
so you
OKC
know, Sacramento bandwagon is now accepting all members.
Well, I'm gonna jump on for one ride and then I'm getting off because they losing in the first round of OKC. I think they'll just limp into the playoffs. That the team that has to win 2 games always typically gets smoked in the first round because they have to play those back-to-back meaningful games. So I think OKC's been great at home all year too. So, but RC did make a good point. And that was something I looked at too with Sacramento just being for some reason owning OKC before the last 2 games. So my bracket is very similar to what RC said. I got Dallas beating the Clippers, especially without knowing the status of Kawhi. I trust Jason Kidd, Kyrie, and Luka. And then Minnesota Phoenix, I got Phoenix winning, which is crazy because they typically lose me money all the time. But I did see Anthony Edwards had a cold or something. Like especially if he's not granted he can get over a cold, but like, yeah, they just gonna need everybody. And we talked about this last week, Kyle, when we did the show on Sunday. They're a jump shot shooting team, and that's where Minnesota's defense is a liability at. Yep. And Phoenix, all they gotta do is stay hot. So give me Phoenix there. And then I did, crushes my soul, man, to take Denver, but they own us. So
you got
it. Take Denver to beat my Lakers. And then in the next round, Dallas to beat OKC.
Wow.
And Denver to beat Phoenix.
Oh, same as RC there.
I told you it's very similar. And then, but this is where it differs. Denver beats Dallas. I am a believer in Denver. I do think that to be the best, you got to beat the best, and I don't think Dallas is going to be able to do so. I don't think that Denver is, I don't think that much different than they were last year. I think the Western Conference is just better. Last year they had that separation. This year I don't feel like they had that separation.
That's actually a good point. That's a fair point. I can see that.
Yeah, and then because Boston, cakewalks through the Eastern Conference, I think Denver wins the championship again. I'm not a believer in Boston yet, but I will take Denver to win the whole thing again. That Jokic and Murray pick and roll, still the most difficult play to guard in basketball. So I'll go Denver.
All right, Skee. We'll get back to RC to do yours. But this is where we left off with Skee. You got Boston beating Philly in the ECF. So Sacramento or the Pellies? Come on. Go ahead, Skee. It's the Kings.
It's disgusting. But Zion is out. I mean,
he doesn't want to do it.
They didn't even want to put Ingram out there. I guess I'll take the Kings.
He doesn't even want to do it.
And then Kings OKC, that's easy, man. OKC, there were other teams who could beat OKC, but I don't think the Kings are one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Clippers and Dallas, I mean, Luka, give me Luka Debo, man. The Clippers, I feel like it's time for them to blow it up too. I feel like Paul George, writing's on the wall. It's time for him to be done. You can't trust Harden in the playoffs, especially the longer the series goes on. And Westbrook, he gets bounced in the first round for a reason every year.
Yep.
Minnesota and Phoenix, I'm going to be different. Give me Minnesota.
Come on. They're not
I like
beating
the way
them.
Minnesota plays defensively. I trust them on that end more. And they got the one player who I just feel like, skill, dog, and will to win. And Anthony Edwards, he can handle the rest as long as the team is playing defense. So I'll roll with Minnesota. And then that'll just be the end of my bracket.
I was in my head. I was like, what is he about to say here?
You're the revenge, you said, Kyle?
You're the revenge. Do it.
Do it.
I can't confidently do it, man.
Do it so we can screenshot it for Twitter, please.
No contact.
That's what he wanted, Skee.
No contact. Just put it.
Can they actually win against Denver? I want to believe they can. But every game that I feel like has mattered versus Denver, they have lost. So I just have to put Denver.
There you go. Good pick.
Minnesota and Denver, I do think Minnesota matches up well with Denver. And I'll go with Minnesota to advance.
Okay. I don't think many people have Minnesota going to the Western Conference Finals. That's a unique one.
I'll also take Dallas. I just feel like more of the experience on their side. And, I feel like they got the best player, if not the best two.
Who's playing Boston?
I have to go with Dallas. I don't think Minnesota's ready to make it out of the conference finals.
Boston, Dallas in the finals. And do you want to pick a champ?
Boston, as much as I don't want them to win, I love their starting five. And Porzingis, he's just a game changer. As long as he stays healthy, Boston should win.
All right. Let's skip it over to a more realistic bracket. The path to the NBA Finals goes through New York this year, guys. I really want to do this, but Oklahoma City really seemed to figure it out about 3 weeks ago. So, unfortunately, I think they would cruise past the Kings. As much as I'm a Kings believer, if this was 3 weeks ago, I would take them. But Oklahoma City really seemed to get their shit together. And this is another one. If it wasn't for the Kawhi lingering injuries and what's happened recently, I feel like I have no choice but to take Dallas here. Definitely Suns. And definitely Denver. No question there. Suns have shown us they could beat the Nuggets several times, and they're doing it again. That's where the championship fall off. I feel like I got to go Oklahoma City. This is going to be awesome. If we see this series, this would be awesome. But I'm a believer in what Oklahoma City has shown us the past few weeks. They look like the best team in the league recently, or one of them. I'll go Suns here. And unfortunately, when the Knicks drafted R.J. Barrett, I said our window's 2025. We're 1 year away, guys. We're one away. I said it, and I'm on record. You can see that year. I'm on record saying 2025 is our window. We're 1 year away. This bracket will have a New York Knicks on top of it next year. So Suns beat the Knicks. That's my finals. Oh, S-Dot, you must have missed the beginning of my bracket. I got your guys going down relatively quickly. All right, thanks guys for joining. Make sure you check out. So Chris and Skee have a YouTube show. They upload every single day. Skee is 2.5 hours before mine. I have Sauce under your name, Ronald. His name's. Let me get Ronald.
Hey, we switched sides.
Yeah. Let's get the correct names. Wait, where's Ronald? Ronald's over here. There we go. So that's his Twitter right there, and he guest spots all over the place. He tweets it out. So just follow him on Twitter, and he'll tell you where to find his stuff. Appreciate you guys coming. You know what? Real quick, let's run a poll. Who's winning the finals? I should have had a poll running. Nuggets, Celtics. Who do you think would be the next two favorites after Nuggets, Celtics?
Lakers.
Not the Suns.
You're a funny guy, Skee.
Just do top 4 teams and then do the fill like as the 5th option.
There is no. The YouTube only lets you do 4.
Oh.
Nuggets, Celtics. It seems like a lot of people like the Mavs. We'll go
Mavs
Nuggets and
fill.
Celtics. Thunder. They are the 1 seed, but no one's going to vote for them. And then, how about the Knicks? They're the 2 seed. 1s and 2s. It's fair.
1s and 2s.
Guys, don't be shy to click the Knicks here. They are the hottest team in the NBA.
Percentage.
See if anyone votes for the Knicks. If the Knicks play the Suns in the finals, though, I'm going to have a hell of a tweet screenshot to send out.
That's going to be crazy.
Really? All you guys are believing in the Celtics still? All of you had Boston in the finals?
In a 7-game series?
Man,
why not?
Because
Cal, you don't think a little
series.
bit? Cal, you don't think a little bit of Boston just kind of took their foot off the gas because they had nothing to play for?
I mean,
They literally
in a
took
few of those
two of their-
games, yes, but that's not the mentality you want. And plus, the Knicks just exposed Boston just a couple weeks ago. Exposed them. Boston wanted that game. Don't listen to when they wanted that one. Knicks abused them.
I heard you say that last week when we were doing the show, and I thought you were kidding. I thought it was just a
I had
joke.
Knicks money line as full unit at plus money. It was my biggest bet in the last couple of months. Love the Knicks there. And look, if you're a Knicks fan, I know that I probably got you fired up. It happens, but we're a year away. We just want to win a couple series. We're a year away. We're on the right track. We believe in Leon Rose. We're on a good path here. So manage expectations. We're looking win a series, look good. Next year is our year. So it looks like the Boston Celtics win the poll, then the Nuggets, then the New York Knicks, then the Thunder. So more of you believe in the Knicks than the Thunder. Thanks everyone for watching. I know none of us really seem to be big future bets guys, but it was fun. Maybe we'll have some funny screenshots to tweet out from it. So everyone have a good night. Remember to bet responsibly. See you guys tomorrow. Later.